Welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Nuri Alamin with the headlines. Blast inside mosque shook Peshawar's culture shelter today. 30 people fear dead. More than 60 people have been injured. Multi-sectoral bilateral cooperation between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka will further be strengthened in the days to come, said Prime Minister. Ukrainian President Zelensky called for direct talks with Russian leader Vladimir Putin. Russia's communications watchdog restricted access to BBC. We start with the shocking news from Pakistan. Peshawar's culture shelter in Pakistan was shaken after a powerful blast inside a mosque today. Hospital officials says at least 30 bodies were brought to the hospital. Around 60 people are critically injured. Police says that the explosion occurred as worshippers had collected in the culture shelter mosque for Friday prayers. According to the initial reports, 2 attackers tried to enter a mosque in the city's Bajar and fired at the policeman. As a result, 1 policeman was dead while the other were critically injured, the police also said. Following the attack, the blast took place in the mosque. No one immediately claimed responsibility for the blast. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina expressed her confidence that Bangladesh relations with Sri Lanka would grow further through cooperation in multiple sectors. She said this in a video message today at a virtual program to mark the Golden Jubilee of the diplomatic ties between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. On this day, in 1972, Sri Lanka recognized Bangladesh as a sovereign and independent country. Hasina said that the last 50 years have been provided in a solid foundation for the partnership of the 2 neighboring South Asian countries. She also said Bangladesh deeply values Sri Lanka's partnership in the incredible journey towards the attainment of socio-economic emancipation. Sri Lanka remained as a trusted friend and partner of Bangladesh in the common endeavor of the 2 countries, he also added. Now I bring the latest from Russian-Ukraine war. Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky called for the West to increase military aid to Ukraine, saying that Russia would advance on the rest of the Europe otherwise. He also called for the direct talks with Russian leader Vladimir Putin, saying it was the only way to stop this war. Meanwhile, Russia's communications watchdog has been restricted access to the BBC Russian service as well as some other media outlets. Dalia Nilufar reports.
Russian troops stepped up bombardments of multiple cities, including Chernihiv in Ukraine's north, and where officials said 33 civilians were killed. On the flip side, Ukraine said Russian planes hit a school, killing 9 people in the northern city of Chernihiv. However, Kiev says more than 350 civilians have been killed since Putin launched the invasion. Meanwhile, Russia's foreign ministry has restricted access to BBC, saying that the media was being used to undermine the internal political situation and security in Russia. Russian forces occupy Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant after attack, but the International Atomic Energy Agency said no radiation rise was detected after a fire at the facility. Meanwhile, Russian President Vladimir Putin said, opening a meeting with his Security Council, that the special military operation is going strictly according to schedule, according to plan, and ordered large compensations for Russian soldiers killed in the invasion. Meanwhile, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was willing to have an open conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin to find a way out of the war. Besides, Biden administration has imposed sweeping sanctions on 19 wealthy Russian individuals and 47 of their family members as well as their close associates as part of additional US penalties on Moscow. Meanwhile, the UN nuclear watchdog said that its board of directors has backed a resolution condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The resolution calling for Moscow to let Ukraine control all its nuclear facilities was passed on Thursday at an emergency meeting of the IAEA. 26 of the 35 nation boards supported the resolution, but Russia and China voted against it. However, more than 1 million people have fled Ukraine since Russia launched its invasion. Dalia Nilufar, SATV News Desk.
Full-fledged in-person classes at all secondary schools might resume from the middle of the month, said Education Minister Deepamoni today. She also said the government is also working to have a national policy on blended learning. All authorities, including medical colleges, will hold this year's admission test following the revised syllabus on which HSC exams were held. Earlier on, in-person classes of secondary schools and colleges across the country resumed partially on February 22nd. Universities also started their academic activities on the same day. France has lifted her restrictions on Bangladesh and has decided to consider Bangladesh as a green-listed country with regards to COVID-19 restrictions. The decision is effective from March 3, says the officials. By dint of the latest decision by the French government, travelers from Bangladesh who are vaccinated will no more be required to have tests on to arrive in France and to depart Israel. Bangladesh embassy in Paris had been pursuing with the concerned French authorities to delist Bangladesh from the restricted countries in light of the satisfactory improvement of COVID-19 situation in the country. Viewers, we are taking a short break. Stay with Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back, and we're watching Bangla City SATV News. At least 9 people were killed and 7 others injured following a powerful explosion in a house of Bihar's Bhagalpur district today. The explosion took place at around 11:30 p.m. on Thursday night in a house of Kazwali Chowk village under the Tatarpur police station. The explosion was so intense that 4 houses collapsed and the sound was heard around 15 kilometers away from the site. The injured were admitted to the hospital immediately. 4 of them are critical condition. The rescue operation started soon after the incident. Conflicting reports surfaced about Indian cinema celebrity Shah Rukh Khan's son Aryan Khan. It came up with claims that an inquiry into his alleged rave party aboard a luxury yacht of Mumbai in October last year had found nothing to implicate him, and a denial was swiftly issued through a pro-government news agency. With no clear statement from the earlier side, the story appears to have been reheated to make or mar the announcement on the Wednesday of the film of Aryan Khan, father Shah Rukh Khan. The film Pathan is now scheduled to be released next year. The first report in the Times of India said the special investigation team of the Narcotics Control Bureau had reportedly found no evidence to prove that Aryan Khan was a part of any international drugs trafficking syndicate. 6 lions and 6 tigers evacuated from near Kiev arrived at a zoo in Poland on Thursday following a 2-day Odyssey skirting battle. Frontliners and coming face to race with Russian tanks, a zoo spokesman said. A Ukrainian truck drove the animal along with the 2 choy, wild cats and a wild dog nearly 1,000 kilometers to the Polish border while avoiding the Zhytomyr region, which is the invading Russian forces have bombarded. At the border, the animals were transferred to police truck while the Ukrainian driver returned home to his children. For now, the animals will be cared for the Bozeman Zoo. Zoo director said they are already in contact with several Western nations want to take in the animal. Lady Gaga might have missed out on an Oscar nomination for her turn to House of Gucci, but she will still be gracing the stage of Dovely Theatre on March 27. Gaga will be one of the presenters at the 94th Oscars show. Producers Will Packer and Sheila Cowan. Others set to present awards include Kelvin Consta, Chris Zog, Zoe Kravitz, Rosie Perez, and Young Hoo Jung, who won the Supporting Actress award the last year for The Minari. More will be announced in the coming weeks. After the 3 years without a host, the Oscars are reportedly making up for the lost time with the 3 hosts for the year's award. Director Zen champions Dark Western, The Power of the Dog leads to field of the year's Academy Award contenders with 12 nominations for the Netflix film out of the 10 notes for the science fiction Epic Dome. The 94th Oscar will be broadcast live on ABC on Sunday, March 27. Bangladesh will face South Africa on the mission on Women's ODI World Cup tomorrow. The match will start at 4 a.m. Bangladesh time in Dunedin. Bangladesh is ready to play on the ODI World Cup for the first time. The preparation of Bangladesh women's cricket team was not good. Nigar Sultana's team lost 2 practice matches. Even then, Bangladesh is quite optimistic about a main episode. Bangladeshi girls want to make the ODI World Cup memorable for the first time by doing something good. It is noted that in the last 5 matches, there is no win of Bangladesh against South Africa. Bangladesh will face Afghanistan in the second match of the series tomorrow. The series determining match will start at 3 p.m. in Mirpur. Bangladesh is very confident after winning the first T20. After ODIs, Mahmudullah's team will try to win the T20 series also. Besides, Bangladesh will also be in the top 8 in the ICC T20 ranking if Bangladesh wins tomorrow. Although Mushfiqur couldn't play in the first match due to a hand injury, the physio confirmed that Mushfiqur is fit to play in the second T20. Before ending, we go through Bangla City SATV News headlines again. Blast inside mosque shook Peshwar's culture result that today 30 people fear death. More than 60 people have been injured. Multi-sectoral bilateral cooperation between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka will further be strengthened in the days to come, said Prime Minister. Ukrainian President Zelensky called for the direct talks with Russian leader Vladimir Putin. Russia's communications watchdog restricted access to BBC. You are up to date with the Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.